guys, it's a beautiful day outside, so I am going to sit back and read some of Al Capone to you, and that way you will have this text and this video for when you begin your next section. This is the beginning of Chapter 7, Big for 7th Grade. Monday, January 7th, 1935. Now I get to walk into a school where I don't know anyone. Correction. I don't know anyone except a piece of work named Piper. One enemy, the rest strangers. This is not good for Cripe's sake. Plus, it's mid-year, so everybody has made all the friends they want already. No one will need a friend, except me. Was this how Natalie felt on the way to the Esther P. Marinoff School? Maybe some big ladies will come along and drag me inside kicking and screaming, too. Sometimes it seems easier to be Natalie. People force her to do stuff. I have to force myself. I try to remember how I would have walked into a new class at home. I guess that's the problem, right there. At home, I never would have thought about how to walk into a stupid room. I would have just done it. I take a deep breath and shove open the door. Everyone is looking up at the teacher, including Piper. 3rd row, 2nd seat. The teacher is writing on the chalkboard in perfect Palmer method handwriting. I spot an empty seat, and I wonder if I can get away with just sitting down like I've been here all year. The teacher turns around. She's got black hair and a tight, white little face, as if her skin is a size too small. "And you are?" she asks. "Matthew Flanagan, but everybody calls me Moose." "I'm Miss Bimp," she says, looking at her roll sheet. Her pencil moves down the list. "Excuse me, Mr. Flanagan, but I don't see your name here. Are you certain you have the right class? 7th grade advanced English?" "Yes, ma'am," I say. She squints at me. "Big for 7th grade, aren't you, Mr. Flanagan?" "Yes, ma'am." Miss Bimp clears her throat. She puts her hand to her mouth and speaks behind it. "This wouldn't be your second time round in 7th grade, would it?" Piper laughs first, then the whole class busts up. My face burns. My ears are like 2 heaters attached to my head. "No, ma'am," I say. "That's enough, class. All right, fine, Mr. Flanagan. Take a seat there in the back so you don't block anyone's view of the board. This week we're continuing our unit on oral reports. I'd like you each to write an outline for a 2-minute speech. Remember, beginning, middle, end. Keep it short. Moose, have you written outlines before?" "Yes, ma'am," I say. "Excellent." Her stiff mouth flips up. This is supposed to be a smile. It looks like it hurts. "The topic for today's speech is," she writes on the board, "what I did over Christmas vacation. I'll give you 15 minutes. Then we'll start right here." She raps her knuckles on my row. That just figures, doesn't it? I take out my notebook. It seems like I've hardly started scribbling ideas when Miss Bimp booms. "Pens down. Listen up. Scout McIvy, you're first." Scout has the kind of hair that grows up instead of down. He has a friendly smile, and everything he does quickly. I don't pay much attention to what he says, but when he walks back to his seat, I see he's got a baseball glove under his desk. Within seconds, I've dipped my pen in my inkwell. "Do you play ball?" I write. The note travels up the row to Scout. Even Piper passes it up with no comment. After Scout reads it, he turns around and smiles at me. Then his head ducks down to write his response. "Southfield," it says when it comes back. "After school today. We need players. Scout." His handwriting is big and wild. It takes up the whole backside. I can't believe my luck. I'm about to write "What position do you play?" when I see Piper walk up the aisle. She waits while Scout moves his books out of the way. Even after Scout's done moving them, she still waits like he hasn't moved them far enough, although he clearly has. Scout pushes the last little corner in, and she sails past. In front of the room, Piper still waits, like she's not going to open her mouth until she has every single person's eyes on her. She doesn't have an apron on either, which wouldn't be strange except every other girl in this class does. I sang a solo for our convicts on Alcatraz. I sang Silent Night for Al Capone, Machine Gun Kelly, Roy Gardner, and the others. There were tryouts in early December, and I was given the only solo spot. We walked around the outside of the cell house caroling, so I didn't actually see Capone this time, but I'm almost sure I heard him call out, "Sweet as a songbird." "No kidding," a fat kid says. "The Al Capone?" Piper nods. "The very same." "How do you know it was him?" I recognized his voice. "You gotta be kidding," another kid mutters. "Miss Flanagan lives on Alcatraz too." Piper smiles at me like we're best friends. "Maybe he can tell you more." What the heck was that? Take the little policewoman off Alcatraz and she runs her mouth like crazy. Capone this, Capone that. Exactly what the warden said never to do. And now, if I don't talk about Alcatraz, I'll look like a chump. And if I do, she'll tell Daddy on me. Score 1 for Daddy's little miss. The girl who comes after Piper is up front row, but everybody is so busy talking no one notices. Miss Bimp wraps her pointer stick so hard she practically breaks it before people settle down. The girl's turn goes lickety-split, and so does the next guy's. I'm up now. I look out at the strange faces. My arms feel too long. I try crossing them, putting my hands in my pockets, holding one arm with the other. My pants are too tight in the waist, and in the crotch too. How come I never noticed this before? My dad is the electrician on Alcatraz. I moved here from Santa Monica, and the most exciting thing that happened to me this vacation was my mom didn't feel like cooking because all our pans were still packed. So my dad brought home a plate of roast chicken, potatoes, and cooked carrots. I pause a minute. This wasn't what I wrote in my outline. I'm going freeform now. From the cell house kitchen. It was cooked by a kidnapper, a two-time murderer, and a postal robber too. Wow, somebody says. Were you scared? No, I make a scoffing noise like this is the silliest thing I've ever heard. The truth is, I was terrified. For the first time in my whole life, I skipped supper, told my parents I had a stomach ache, which has never stopped me from eating before. He could have been killed, Piper said in a stage voice. She's shaking her head as if it's a wonder I'm here to tell this story. They tried to poison you? A girl with chipmunk cheeks asks. No, but they could have. Any of us could be poisoned at any time, Piper agrees. Is that all, Mr. Flanagan? Miss Bimp cuts in, tapping her pencil on the desk. Yes, ma'am, I say. When I get back to my seat, I trip on a girl's foot and knock my inkwell over. Ink seeps through a crack and drips on my leg. I spend the rest of class trying to clean it up. After the bell rings, I catch up with Piper in the hall outside. I thought we weren't supposed to talk about Alcatraz, I say. Why did you then? Piper asks, shifting her books to her other arm. I open my mouth to answer, but no words come out. Why did I anyway? Because you did, I finally spit out. Because I did? Isn't that the sweetest thing ever? Piper smiles at me. I hurry to keep up with her. Piper is a good 6 inches shorter than I am, but walks faster. How can this be? She stops and looks at my pants. I look down at myself and see a big black ink blotch, the shape of Florida, uncomfortably close to my fly. So, are you going to help me with my project or not? She asks. What project? Oh, didn't I tell you? We're going to sell the Alcatraz laundry service to kids at school. You know, get your clothes cleaned by famous Alcatraz convicts, Al Capone, Machine Gun Kelly, and Roy Gardner. We'll charge 5 cents a shirt, no IOUs. Money will be split 4 ways. Jimmy and Annie will help us put the laundry through in their families' bags, so they each get a cut, plus you and I. You're going to sell the Alcatraz laundry service? Why, I ask. I just told you why. Money. Piper starts walking again. Does your dad know about this? She snorts. Not hardly, she says, taking off again. Hey, I hurry after her as she ducks into a doorway. I didn't say. Get out of here, you big baboon. This is the girls' bathroom. A blonde with angry pop-out eyes shouts. 3 girls are putting on lipstick. Another is closing the stall door. All the way to my next class, I hear the sound of Piper's laugh. It plays over and over in my head. Chapter 8. Prison guy plays ball. Same day, Monday, January 7th, 1935. After school, I head for South Field, thinking about Piper. What is it about her anyway? There were plenty of annoying people at home. I stayed away from them. It's living on a stupid island. It's like a prison. Okay, it is a prison. There's the problem right there. It's only a half day at school, which I'm hoping my mom doesn't know so she won't wonder why I'm late. Hey look, it's the Alcatraz guy, says a kid I recognize from my class. Who let you out? Another asks as he warms up his pitch. I can't stay late or they lock the cell house door. Gotta watch out for that. Nobody's home late on Alcatraz. Nobody gets bad grades either, or they chain you up, I say. So, hey, another kid walks over. I heard what you said in Miss Bimp's about almost getting poisoned, and I was wondering, do you eat supper with them murderers? Only snacks. Snack time is with murderers. Supper time is reserved for conmen, counterfeiters, and armed robbers. Scout laughs. What about Capone? Another kid hollers. You met him yet? No, I haven't had the pleasure of making his acquaintance, I say, holding my nose so my voice comes out like my great Aunt Elizabeth's. They all laugh now. Does your dad carry a gun? Scout wants to know. Nope, I say. Does he come home with blood on his hands? Nah, I say. He washes up first. My mom makes him. I borrow Scout's glove. Just don't get any bullet holes in it or anything, Scout says as I start warming up with a kid named Stanford. Everyone seems to already know that this guy named Dell and Scout will be the captains. They call us in and start picking players. They make their choices the way my dad moves cards around in his gin rummy hand. The only wild card is me. I figure I'll be last pick because no one knows how I play, but Scout picks me third on his side. Dell and Scout measure hands up the bat. Scout wins, so I head for the dugout. Scout pulls me aside. Hey, Mr. Alcatraz, can you hit? He whispers. I shrug. I don't stink or anything, but I'm better in the field. But you can hit, right? Yeah, I can hit, I say. Well, you're leadoff. I'm second. Stanford, you're third. Meager, you're cleanup. We'll see where we are after that. I pick up the bat and give it a swing. It's too light. No clobber to a bat like that, and the swing is faster than I like. I get into my ready stance. My head clears. No Natalie, no Mom, no Alcatraz. There's nothing but me and the ball. The ball comes at me slow. Wait for it, wait for it. I swing. The bat whistles through the air. The ball sails by. Strike one, the catcher calls. Don't think. My coach at home always said, you start thinking, you get your drawers all in a twist. I glance up to see a group of girls watching. I wonder if Piper will walk by. She has to go this way to get on the boat. I swing the bat back to ready position. The pitcher does his pre-pitch dance. Take your time, turn your hips to the ball, meet it. I watch it arc out, hold. Ball one. What an eye. I can't help sneaking a smile at Scout. But the pitcher's antsy now. He's ready to go. I swing my bat to ready and wait. The ball comes close, too close. I hold. Strike two. I stand up. That was a ball. It almost hit me. It didn't though, did it, prison boy? The curly-haired catcher says. It was a ball, I mutter. Doesn't this guy know the strike zone? Are we playing baseball or what? I nod to Scout, like he should watch the calls. He seems to understand and positions himself behind the catcher. The pitcher smiles. He wipes his hands on his shirt and sends a fastball. His best pitch yet. It comes right where I like it, and I swing, but I forget about the bat being so light. I hit it, but not solid. It's a grounder. I drop the bat and thunder toward first base. The shortstop fields and throws. The first baseman fumbles off to catch the shortstop's bad throw. I'm on. Not pretty, but I stick. I look out at the girls. They're gone. They couldn't even wait to see if I got a hit. A wave of homesickness washes over me. Scout's up now. He's a small guy. That's probably why the bat is light. It's his. He hits hard, though, hard enough for me to take second and third. But then Daly and Meager strike out, and the next guy hits a pop fly the shortstop catches with his bare left hand. Dell's team is up. What position? Scout asks. First, I say. He shakes his head. Meager plays first. How about second? I shrug. I'm not wild about playing second, but when you're new, you're new. I borrow a glove from a kid on Dell's team and make my way to second base. First batter's pretty bad. Holds the bat like it has germs. Pitcher strikes him out. Second batter looks like he's going to be good, but who knows because the pitcher walks him. If he did that on purpose, then the guy must be really good. Third batter wallops one hard right at me. I leap left and shag it on the fly, then rip it back to first. Meager on first gets it in his glove and taps the guy as he slides back to first. 2 outs. Unbelievable. My first double play ever. Not a double play combination like the famous Chicago Cubs Tinker to Evers to Chance, but pretty darn close. I can't wait to tell my dad. Nice, Scout calls. I try to nod like this is no big deal, but I can't get the grin off my face. Every guy on our team is looking at me and Meager. Nice going, I tell Meager. Prison guy can field them balls, Stanford says. Them gangsters taught him how to play, another guy agrees. There's something like a double play to make yourself a friend or two. Maybe it won't be so bad here. Not so bad at all. When it's time to go home, we're winning 3-2. Scout tells me they play every Monday. I can hardly wait till next week. I don't even care if my mom gets mad at me for coming home late. I don't care about anything except playing ball again.